My name is Chandra Theodore. I am the director of program in our dorm program, which is the Urban Mission Experience, and I also am the director of client services in our Home Safe Housing program. A day in my shoes with the housing program is very fluid. It can go from sitting at my desk talking to clients or helping a client move in, helping a client move out, rushing to their apartment because they said their ceiling's falling in, shopping for furniture for their new place because our clients come in, they're homeless and have absolutely nothing, so shopping on a budget for new things so they feel like they're not just getting keys to an apartment and just left alone. The case notes from literally everything I do with the clients, from talking to them, giving them bus passes, talking to the apartment complex, maintenance. It's really all over the place. It's hard to say in order what my day is because when it's the housing program, every day's different. For the Urban Mission Experience, that is our dorm program, and we house church groups, college groups, retired members in different groups. I mean, it's a wide variety of groups that come. We house them in our dorms, and we plan their week of service here in Jacksonville. We partner with agencies that need volunteers that don't have the manpower to get some of the little things done. I mean, it could go from wiping walls down. It needs to be done, but they don't have the manpower for it. So we partner with other nonprofit agencies mainly, and we house our groups, and we send them to agencies, and pretty much just what do you need, and I got who can help you. We feed them. So I shop for their food when I have groups. I figure out who's going to cook their meals for dinner because that's not my specialty. But I figure out who will cook a very hearty meal. It's a full meal for them after working a full day in Florida heat. And it's just kind of fellowship with the groups and just giving them a place to use the gifts that they've been given and talents, and just finding a partnership and finding that plug of, you want to do this? Well, let's see what we can do. So my smallest group, I believe, was 6 people. I think it was a group of retired people that come and they just need a place to stay, and they have figured out their work, and they're adults, they're retired. And one of the times they came, like, they're a recurring group, and they brought, like, an elementary school, like, one of their daughters came with them, so it was a different range of age group when they came, but it was only 6 people. And then my largest has been, I think it was 55 people from Texas. That was a full week. That was a getting up in the morning at 7 and going to bed. I think the day they got here, it wasn't even till like 1 in the morning. So even with this part of my job, it's fluid as well. Every day is different. I'm pretty much the point of, all right, you're here, let me welcome you. What do you need? Oh, your van was repoed. What are we going to do about this? All the way from Texas, and your charter bus was repoed in the middle of your week. What are we going to do? How can we get you to these sites that still need the volunteers? They've been counting on the volunteers. They saved up these projects for a group of 55 high schoolers fired up, ready to work. What are we going to do about this? And some of the sites were close enough, thankfully, they could walk. Some of them, unfortunately, we did have to cancel because they're getting 55 people places all over Jacksonville. I mean, it ranges. It's not just in our neighborhood. It's literally all over Jacksonville. And that one was a church group that, yeah, it was just a week full of fun and grocery shopping daily, because some days they wanted to everybody make a sandwich and some days nobody made a sandwich. So it's really just a day by day experience. And those groups range from here in the States to all the way from Jamaica. I mean, we house disaster groups. It's just been a whole experience of different people. So our groups come with different missions. Some are here just for volunteer work for college, and some are here to mission, and they're from their church, and they want to go out and do mission work. So one of the groups was actually here for disaster recovery. That was their mission, was they were here for Hurricane Irma, and they wanted to be anywhere that the hurricane touched. Well, they went and worked on the north side with another agency that actually had the resources for disaster recovery, and we got donated a bunch of bread, and we love donations because that's budget money that we don't have to spend. But some groups just don't eat that much bread, and they're like, we don't want it to go to waste. What can we do with it? So they asked me one day, can we take this bread out to work with us? And I was like, yeah, you could. This is your bread. Like, this is your bread. Just don't let it go to waste. So they were like, oh my gosh, yes. I think we'll make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We'll keep some of the bread together and just give it out. I was like, whatever your heart wants to do, go ahead. There's no limits. So the group made sandwiches, and they took some of the bread and went to their work site in this neighborhood. Very low income neighborhood. So they knew what they were working with when they got there the first couple days. So they knew the clients and the residents that they were working with. And so their day ended, and I meet with them at dinner time just to touch base. How was your day? Was there anything wrong? What went good? What is your experience? Like, hearing their stories, because I don't get to go out in the streets with them, and I don't get to go and do the work. So I live off of their experiences. And one of the girls said, I knocked on a lady's door to give her this bread, and she opened the door, and I said, would you like some bread? And she said the lady started crying, and she was like, that made me cry. And she was like, I was just here giving her bread, like that's it, and some sandwiches. And she said, we thought nobody cared about us. There's nobody here to help us. We don't have the money, we don't have the resources, so just a loaf of bread, which could have been a 99-cent loaf of bread, and it made this lady's day. And she was like, I could have went home after that, and my whole trip would have been done. She was like, that just warmed my heart. So then, of course, me hearing the story, I'm like, this is what we're here for. Like, this is, some days we have bad days. Some days you get moldy water poured on you because you're dumping from the hurricane. But some days like this, that's what we're here for. That is why we have dorms, and that is why we house these groups coming from wherever to help them fulfill their missions.